You know, we use the phrase subject matter all the time, right? We never really think about it. But what if I told you that hidden inside those two super simple words is, well, a completely radical way to understand reality itself? I know, it sounds like a huge stretch, but trust me on this one. Let's see just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
I mean, think about it. What if the entire structure of how you experience life, the me who's looking out and the world that's being seen, what if that whole setup could be completely reimagined? That's the big provocative idea we're diving into today, and it comes from a pretty ancient philosophical framework.
And look, this isn't just some clever wordplay. According to a really powerful teaching from Vedanta, this one little phrase, subject matter, actually holds the key. The claim here is just staggering. If you can truly, deeply understand the relationship between the subject and the matter, you can understand the nature of everything. Yeah, the whole shebang.
All right, so let's get into it. The crucial starting point is this. Our entire life, every single moment of it, is built on this structure. There's a subject, that's you, that's me, and we are experiencing matter. And matter is just, well, it's all the stuff we experience. Everything from the people you see to the feelings in your gut, it's all this dance between a subject and the matter it's perceiving.
Okay, but here's where Vedanta's definition of matter gets really, really interesting, because it's so simple, but it's also totally radical. For Vedanta, matter is anything that can be an object to your consciousness. Anything at all. Sights, sounds, smells, sure, but also the planets you see through a telescope or the tiniest particles in an accelerator. Basically, if you can perceive it, if you can be aware of it, boom, Vedanta calls it matter. And this is where it gets truly mind-bending. Because if you follow that logic, then your own thoughts, your feelings of happiness or sadness, your most cherished memories, they are also matter. And you might think, wait, what? How? Well, it's simple. Because you can observe them. You are aware of your thoughts, right? You witness your feelings. They are objects that appear in your consciousness. Okay, so you can probably see where this is going. This one little insight forces us to completely redraw the line we usually draw between me, the subject, and the world, the matter. So, what does that new map actually look like? So here's the shift, side by side. Normally, right, we think of ourselves, our body, our mind, our feelings as me, the subject. But the Vedantic view, it takes all of that and pushes it over into the matter column. Why? Because your body can be observed, your thoughts can be witnessed, and that leaves only one single thing on the subject side of the line, the pure, simple awareness that's doing all the observing. Which, of course, leads to the biggest, most important question of all. If my body and my mind are just matter, if they're not the real me, then who or what am I? What is this pure subject that's left after everything else has been stripped away? Well, the subject is that fundamental, undeniable core of your being. It's the one thing you can't doubt. It's that simple, direct knowing. I exist. I am aware. Think of it like a light. It's the constant light of consciousness that lights up everything else, the world, the body, the thoughts. But you can never turn around and see the light itself as an object. It is always the seer and never the seen. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This is all a fascinating philosophical game, but what's the point? What's the practical benefit here? Well, the payoff is absolutely immense. It's about finding true, lasting freedom from suffering. And there's this really beautiful metaphor that explains how this works. Imagine your consciousness, the true you, the subject, is like a mirror. The world, with all of its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows, just appears as reflections in that mirror. A good day passes. A bad day passes. The reflections come and go, but the mirror itself, it remains totally untouched, completely unstained. So think about what this really means practically. Sickness and old age, they happen to the body, which is matter. Sadness and depression, they happen in the mind, which is also matter. Hunger and thirst, those are in the life forces, also matter. But you are the pure awareness that illumines all of it. You are the witness to all of these things. And when you identify with that witness, you realize you are fundamentally, deeply untouched by it all. All right, so far so good, right? We've drawn this really clear, neat line in the sand. I am the conscious subject over here, and everything else is matter over there. But just when you think you've got it all figured out, Vedanta is about to pull the rug right out from under us. It's about to erase that very line we just drew. And here's why. This nice, neat separation creates a huge logical problem. Think about it. If the subject, this pure, formless consciousness, and matter are completely different, like as different as chalk and cheese, how in the world can they interact? How can something non-physical even be aware of something physical? For there to be any connection at all, they have to share some kind of common ground. Okay, let's walk through a classic analogy that makes this super clear. Imagine you're in a room with a wooden podium, a wooden chair, and a wooden table. At first, you see them as three different things, right? But then we introduce a new concept, wood. And suddenly you realize they're all just wood. You can't separate the podium from the wood. There aren't two things there, a podium and wood. There's only one thing, wood, that's just appearing as a podium. And this leads us to the ultimate mind-blowing conclusion. The entire world of matter, the whole universe, our bodies, our minds, it's not actually a separate reality from consciousness. It is just an appearance within the one single reality, consciousness itself. Matter is simply what consciousness looks like when it appears to itself as an object. So wow, after completely deconstructing our reality and then putting it back together in this new way, what's the final payoff? What's the point of all this? Well, it's actually twofold. It leads to ultimate freedom for you and a radical sense of oneness with everything. So on the one hand, for you, the subject, you find lasting freedom. By knowing you're the timeless, unchanging witness, you're free from all the struggles that belong to the body and mind. But then, for matter, for the world out there, it's no longer this separate, foreign other. You realize it's your very own self, just appearing as the universe. You don't just observe the world anymore. You realize you are the world. Swami Vivekananda really just summed up this whole breathtaking vision perfectly. He said, the universe is God objectified, and we are God's subjectified. It's that one underlying reality, call it whatever you want, God, consciousness, Brahman, appearing as the objective universe out there, and as the subjective feeling of being me in here. It's all just one reality, playing two different roles. And that really leaves us with a final, powerful thought to chew on. This isn't just some abstract philosophy, right? It's a call to a totally new way of living. If the entire universe is just another form of you, then what would it actually mean to live in a world where truly no one and nothing is ever separate from you?